This camellia plant produces very, very light pink color flowers. Check out the color of the flower bud. Very, very soft pink. Here there is one flower, it's fully blooming. You can check out the color. At the base of each petal, it's kind of like a light pink color, but the color gradually fades to the outside of each panel. It's almost white on the edge. Actually, this flower looks like a bicolor. It's kind of marginated white. Let's check out the size of this flower. At least 4 inches, so it's about medium size and large size. This flower has several rows of irregular petals. In the heart of this flower, you can see golden stamens. So the flower's form should be recognized as semi-double. This camellia plant produces light pink flowers. The color of this camellia flower is light pink, very soft pink color. Let's take a measurement of this flower size. It's about 2 to 3 inches wide. It's a small size flowers. This flower has 1 or more rows of out petals. Out petals are large, flat or wavy. The central petals are massed together into a domed shape. The central petals are intermingled with yellow stamens. This flower form is called anemone form. This camellia plant is grown in our neighborhood, which produces small pink flowers. So this flower is pink color. Actually, it's a soft, light pink color. Let's measure the size. Around 3 inches wide, so it's a small size. This flower has several rows of petals. It's round shape. In the center of this flower, you can see some yellow stamens, but intermingled with petals. So the flower form should be called peony form. This camellia plant produces pink colored flowers. The color of this flower is light pink, but the color gradually shades to the edge of each petal is kind of white. So let's measure the size of this flower. It's about 3 to 4 inches wide. It's medium size. So let's check out this flower. This flower is kind of round shape. It has 1 or more rows of large out petals, but the central irregular petals are massed together tightly. It's hard to find any stamens. So I would rather call this flower form is full peony form, or you can call it anemone form. There's one thing I want to point out. This camellia plant produces flowers very similar to another camellia plant which produces pink color flowers. I just picked one flower bud and one fully open flowers so we can compare. Check out right here. You see the flower buds, the color very similar. The size is also very similar. So I put two flowers together so you can check out on the right side. This flower I just picked from another camellia plant so you can compare. So on the right side, that flower is kind of color is very light, and the form is kind of a lemony form. You can see the stamens in the center of this flower, and they intermingled together. Check out and find some difference. Interesting. Actually, the big difference is the leaves. Check out the leaves. You see, the leaves from that camellia plant is kind of long and narrow, small. But this camellia plant, you can check out, the leaves are big. It's kind of round, very waxy and glossy. So definitely there are two different varieties. Interestingly, there's another camellia plant which also produces light pink colors, which is very similar to this camellia plant. So I just picked one flower bud, one fully open flower. So let's compare the flower bud. You see, very similar the color, a little bit small. I put the two flowers together so we can easily compare. Both flowers are light pink. The right side, the flower is kind of loose peony form. You can see stamens intermingled with petals. But on the left side, definitely you cannot see any stamens. Very tight. Actually, the leaves are very similar. Even though the leaves from other camellia plant is not so glossy and waxy as this one. And also you can check out the toothed margin is kind of blunt, but this plant is very sharp. Check out right here. You see here? You can see the difference. So they might be two different varieties. Very interesting. They're very similar, but you still can see some difference. This camellia plant is grown in our neighborhood, which produces light pink color flowers. The color of this flower is light pink, but the color is not even. Some parts of the petals is like more deep pink. So let's measure the size of this flower. It's about around 4 inches wide. It's medium or to large size. This flower has several rows of petals. Each petal is overlapped. In the center of this flower, you cannot see any stamens. So the flower form should be rose form.